everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. I hope you're having a great day. Taking another look here at SUI, seeing what's going on. We may actually have our top in here for this coin at 216.8. So again, excellent stuff here in a lot of ways as far as how well it moved up. Didn't quite hit that 1.618 fib level, but what we want to look at here is cleaning up the charts and essentially seeing where we're going to go next, because Bitcoin is on the pullback, and you got to recognize the combination of, the pairing rather, of Bitcoin to SUI is fairly synonymous in a lot of ways. In other words, SUI is pulling back with Bitcoin for the moment. Just keep in mind, this coin has a tendency of taking off quite quickly when Bitcoin finds its bottom. So me personally, I think we're still going to see 61K range retested for Bitcoin. And if so, then we'll probably see SUI come down to the 180s. But once more, that's all preliminary based on, the correlation between Bitcoin and SUI. We also got to recognize we may be in our ABC pattern here, so the likelihood of further downside makes sense at this point, but once more, still premature in a lot of ways to know what's going to happen. So what we want to look at is some fib levels here, kind of see roughly where we're at, and kind of go from there. If you are new, you've been watching the channel for a while, no matter the circumstance, I want to say thank you so much again for always hitting the like button, commenting below, and just the years of support. Coming up on, 3.5 years at this point, but rounding up to 4 years on the YouTube space. So it's been a pretty awesome experience. Thank you again to everyone. Again, if you're part of our community, you know by now, but I have a Trading Academy community signals group. Links down below for that if you're curious. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at SUI. We want to double check a few things here. First of all, liquidation, and we're going to kind of reference a few important factors here, such as, a lot of liquidation on the upside, but not quite as much as the downside. Now, I know it seems crazy. It pales in comparison, of course, but again, there's billions of dollars down as low as 140, 130. Some people feel like 140 could be realistic. I thought it was recently when we were in the 170s, but now it's a little bit less likely. And the reason why I say that is because we have, even though there's a lot of liquidation on the downside, it's going to take Bitcoin to nosedive pretty hard below 60K for that to happen. While 57 to 60K is a possibility for Bitcoin, it's not a probability yet. So between now and then, let's not speculate too hard. But the truth is there's tons of liquidation down as low as that. And oddly enough, we're at like 165, which is super close, by the way, to our profit target for our short. Recently, we can see there tons of liquidation just below the lowest point. And that was no less than 2 or 3 days ago. So this coin moves fast, right? So the good news is there's a lot of support that we're moving into, support range, but we also got to recognize this coin has a lot of meat on the bone, and market makers, they're going to take some profits on this coin based on the simple fact that it's probably one of the most profitable coins in the industry. And if Bitcoin continues to run, we'll see the same thing happen. So just kind of wanted to preface with that so you understand roughly where we're at here with this coin. So when we look at this area here, of course, we got billions of dollars in liquidation between 140 roughly and 160 as a round number. How fast are we going to get there? Well, in its history, it's done a pretty good job of selling off when it does. Okay, so just keep in mind, the last time it sold off from top to bottom, it was about a 21% correction. So I'm not proposing we're going to see that now, but just know that this coin does sell off pretty quickly. So it may be a good consideration to take profits. I know those are fighting words for a lot of people, and it's funny, I actually get thumbs down on my videos because people don't like that I'm telling them that the coin could pull back. It's just crazy how emotionally attached people are to certain coins. Anyways, I got news for you folks. If your emotions are factored in whatsoever in watching this, you're doing it wrong. You don't belong in crypto. Simple as that. Don't belong in trading either. I mean, even trading traditional markets, you're still going to have the same problems. Emotions just don't belong. Anyways, the whole point of me saying that is that the price should pull back. There's no doubt it's overextended. It should pull back. We've probably topped out on our runs here. If you look at our overall Elliott wave, we have our expansive wave. We got our last leg up here. There's a distinct probability we've topped out for the moment. Again, Bitcoin runs towards 65K. That might be a different story. It just seems less likely at this point. So again, what are you going to go with the odds of success? Truth is, you don't want to short this coin, period. I think that's just the easy way to understand it. I shorted, we had to close our trade before we hit our stop loss. It would just move way too fast. And I don't like shorting coins like this in general. It just gave us tons of bearish divergences. We're probably seeing those right now that are very similar. You probably have more success shorting now than you did before, at least the last time I mentioned that. So again, at this point here, it's cooling off. We're back under 70 in the RSI. Money flow is below the price action. That's generally a favorable sign to the downside. Stochastic's bouncing, but that's kind of normal for this knee-jerk reaction to the upside like we saw. Our moving averages are all below the price action, so that's generally a favorable sign. You don't want to short into that in most cases unless it's a tight target. which again, our short was tight, but the price just never pulled back below support. We got a weird pump over the weekend too for Bitcoin that really sent SUI in a complete almost near price discovery mode. Okay, so again, MACD is trying to converge. Trend strength index is still high. There's a lot of reasons why the daily time frame is telling us that you just don't want to touch this coin. I'm more so specifically talking about to the downside, and honestly even to the upside too. Even though we're coming into this macro point of control range, I still just don't like the price action with this coin. It's just way too volatile. There's no real sensibility in these pumps. Once they start, they don't discontinue though. So again, if the price starts to break free from this 210 range, you may want to consider a long because it'll just continue to run. That's generally how it's been working. But at this point here, we have a lot of reasons why the price should diverge, and let me explain. Take a look here at the 4 hour. We're getting close to 50 on the RSI. We lose that would be a potential shift in momentum. You can already argue right now, I'm sure you're probably rolling your eyes, there is a shift in momentum. The price is pulling back. Yeah, but these indicators aren't really forecasting. They're kind of just telling us what's happened so far. So at this point, it's obvious the price is diverging and we're starting to see that shift in momentum. Okay, late to the party or not, that's just kind of how it goes. That's why trying to short the top makes no sense at all, because you don't know where the top is until it defines itself. That's the funny thing about trading. You go with the trend, right? Right now, the macro trend is up. But right now, also, concurrently, the 4 hour time frame is telling us there's a paradigm shift occurring, okay? When that happens, you don't take a trade in either direction in most cases. It's rare to find a lot of success trying to find those kind of areas, right? So at this point here, what we're going to look at is the hourly and just kind of see where we're at. This is usually a good confirming factor for me for shifts in momentum. See, the lagging span here, this green line is below the price action. That's first sign of absolutely closing your long position in profit. Okay. The second thing it's telling us too is that you'll have more success shorting than taking it long. However, we got to recognize there's a decent amount of support here. Our local highs, we got to give it a chance to see if these local highs are going to work as new lows. So we are entering a support range of the 190 to 195 range. Concurrent with that, we're also still within and or above the cloud, depending on how you look at it. So it really just confirms that no trade is the best trade you can take right now. Okay. Again, a lot of conflicting information. So I know that you probably just wasted 8 minutes of your life watching me tell you not to take a trade, but that's probably the best advice you'll ever get in your trading career, because most people are trying to tell you to buy or sell when there's no confirming factors. So again, being a professional trader, 95% of it is identifying opportunities not to take a trade. I know it seems weird and crazy, and I'm sure I'll probably get some flack for that too, but whatever. If you don't like it, it's all good. Go be butthurt somewhere else. You're probably not in the right place. But if you found benefit from this, of course, then I hope that you can continue to learn and grow as a trader, because these are the cold, hard realities of trading, honestly. It's difficult. Crypto is not for everyone. I would dare say less than like 5% of people are successful in this industry. I'm only successful, I feel, because I'm patient and I wait for better opportunities. I miss way too many opportunities that the regular person would see as comfortable. But again, I find comfort in turning down opportunities than I do enabling them. It's almost like going out to a bar or to a nightclub, and then people coming up to hit on you, you're turning them down. It's somewhat of a gratifying feeling to reject an easy opportunity. Okay, there's nothing wrong with the whole vetting process, right? No matter what parallels of life you want to talk about. Trading is more specifically relevant in that regard. Okay, anyways, I've done my 2 cents here. I appreciate you watching. I'll post a playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord here shortly. Looks a little something like this if you're not familiar. I just kind of give you insight on coins that I cover and essentially, some things that are happening. Because again, we got a bearish rectangle for Bitcoin. We got to give it a chance to pull back. I think it probably will. Once more, we'll see here soon. You never truly know. I hope you learned something. Thanks again for your time. We'll look forward to seeing the next one. Take care.